What's going on, everyone? We're back for another video. I'm Trent and my co-host Jake. We're going to talk some Bills camp today. We're recording this on Thursday night. So the Bills have had 4 days of practice so far. Today was the first day with pads, so we got some live looks, and obviously we can't see it visually, but there's a lot of good stuff coming out from the beat reporters, and there's some videos circulating around Bills Twitter and Bills Instagram. So we got a lot to cover, and we're going to have some good updates from camp so far. So let's get it. Welcome back to Amateur Hour Sports. I'm Trent with my co-host Jake. Look at his numbers. His numbers are insane.
I just have to say, never go all in on the Raiders ever.
All right, Dino. So Bills had pads for the first time today. I know camp's been a little weird, so this was the first day they got to go full pads. Just quick overall thoughts on the first day of pads. I know everyone's juiced up. Coaches are going nuts. Different type of energy that comes from the first day of hitting.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I remember when we played, like, the coaches were off their rockers on the first day of
They always
hitting.
are.
They're so juiced up. But I think for the players, it's like watching Hard Knocks and just hearing their reaction. It was just like the guys actually think that like, to consider that their first day of practice. Like, that's back to the normal. You know, they didn't really treat the past 2 weeks and 2.5 weeks as actual, you know, training camp, but now it's like getting back to the normal. I think guys are getting settled in their routines now that the pads are going on. I think that's the main thing that's going through those guys' head is just something familiar.
Right. Yeah, and there hasn't been a lot of familiarity with just how the whole season went, and this training camp is so unique.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills have extreme limitations on what can and can't go out of camp. So these beat reporters were getting reports. We can only hear stuff of how players are playing as far as, you know, what plays they make and their technique and stuff like that. We can't hear anything about depth chart, schematics, or anything like that. Like, the Bills are honing in on what can come out of Bills camp. So everything, you know, and with the limited video too, everything you got to sort of take what you
for
can
a grain
get,
of
basically.
salt.
Yeah, and take you know, whatever comes out, it's like, that's what we have to talk about. So we got a lot of things we're going to touch on. Let's start it off with, I think, the hot topic of this season for the Bills, which is Josh Allen. He had, I think he started off camp the first 2 days pretty good. We saw a couple deep balls that got everyone hype on Bills Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, it got me hype. I remember texting you.
Yeah. I mean, you just see that high arcing ball perfectly in receivers' hands. And listen, at the end of the day, there was no receiver or no DB on him, but that's still something that, like, you know, obviously we knew Josh Allen had to improve going in this year, and it's just all about timing and rhythm for him, and hitting people in stride, no matter if there's running on air or not, is something to be excited about and to improve for this season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this might seem like a weird quarterback analytical thing, but like watching those videos, you can definitely see a difference in his release point and his mechanics. Like, just from a quarterback, being a quarterback, like, he throws that ball and he's very much like releasing it high, and you can see the touch that he's putting on it. And that was one of the main factors that we've been griping on, and I know other Buffalo fans have, is just like he's either too far, like overthrowing the receivers on deep balls, or he's just freaking gunning it, you know? And seeing those touch balls to the running backs out of the backfield and like short fades, that's really like that. Those are the steps that we need to see, regardless if there's defenders. That is like the stuff that shows that he put in the work. He's heard what the critics were saying, and he responded.
So he started off camp pretty good this week. From reports I've heard today, he did struggle today.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah,
Joe Biscaglia has him 32 for 55 on the season, or on the in the week so far, which is 58%, which is his completion percentage from last year.
Yeah.
So that is a little worrisome. However, you got to keep in mind, this is A, 4 days into camp. B, these guys have, you know, limited practice before this. Some of these guys he's throwing to for maybe not the first time, but the first couple times. Yeah. And keep in mind, this defense that he's going against every single day is one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think people realize, like, he's basically playing against the best defense everywhere. That's going to make him better. He's going to have his struggles early on, but you know, the new pieces that they have, that's a tough, like we said, timing. Like we see the plays that they release of his beautiful balls, but there's going to be struggles like with the timing of the new receivers, especially the rookie guys, because they're still learning how to run their routes like at that level, that speed. And then like guys like Diggs, who he might not be used to just somebody running exactly where they're supposed to be. There's different factors that are involved, but I don't look too much into this, especially early on in camp. I mean, obviously, if this is going to be, like towards September 13th is the first game, or 12th?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
if we're still having this conversation, then
something's a little concerning. But obviously, we're starting off, and hopefully he progresses. No preseason games, so we can't really see it against another team. But we can trust that he's getting the best competition in practice, which will hopefully get him prepared.
Absolutely. That leads us to the receivers, who I think have impressed everybody so far. I mean, it starts off with Stefon Diggs. The guy just looks the part. I mean, he runs crisp routes. He, from what I've heard, is catching everything. And he just looks good in a Buffalo Bills uniform. That red, white, and blue, I think, just fits him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there hasn't been that much hype around a receiver in Buffalo since T.O., and he was old.
Yeah.
I mean, like, his style of route running, it just is going to rub off on all the other receivers and make them better in his competition.
So Diggs isn't the only receiver who's been impressing. I've heard a lot of good things from these two rookies, Gabe Davis and Isaiah Hodgins. Gabe Davis today, he was the 4th-round pick out of UCF. Today he had a 67-yard touchdown reception where he caught a slant, and who was on him?
Went the distance.
Trey White. And yeah, he went the distance, ran away from Trey White. I saw Levi Wallace might have caught him at the end, but Gabe Davis, I think, brings an element that, I mean, we definitely didn't have last year. I think he's similar build to Duke Williams, but he kind of plays bigger and he just looks bigger. And to have, that breakaway speed is something that the Bills desperately need, that blend of size and speed.
You know who he reminds me of and what I think is going to happen with him? Jarvis Landry.
Ooh.
Like interior receiver who can play outside, who makes big plays, and who is good at running routes. I really think that he just reminds me of him. Like build, just like the way he runs.
Yeah.
And
physical. I mean, Jarvis Landry is one of the most physical receivers in the game. And then the other receiver, Isaiah Hodgins, who's 6'4". I saw the Bills posted a video of him like going up and getting the catch. And
bro, oh my God, dude.
He can really. I just like the way he can high point the football. And again, I mean, he's even bigger than Gabe, and Gabe is huge. And it's just like this size it really gets me excited. And I'm a wide receiver snob, so I feel like the Bills have a really well-rounded receiver room, where you got like the slot receiver, you got the tall guy, you got the route runner, and then you just got these like role players who can, fill in.
And then let's talk about the one with Duke Williams.
Yeah.
Dude. Dude, I mean, like, all right, we were talking.
What's your thoughts on Duke?
So, obviously, like, you gotta love his drive and the chip on the shoulder that he plays with, and like he's like Buffalo to a T.
Yep.
Like just like grinder, like he's overlooked, but like when it comes down to it now, with all the talent that we have, I just don't really see like a spot for him. Obviously, he's not afraid to lay some contact and block pretty well, but it's
going to be hard for him to make the team.
Yeah, if you have 5 or 6 receivers that you're going to rotate, I don't see him rotating in on those, really. Like, special teams would have to be really where he has to stay on the roster, in my opinion.
And he's made, like, today he had like a one-handed catch today. I know had a great play the other day. Like, he's been making some plays that are going to keep him on the roster, or at least make it really tough for him to get, sent home. I think he is actually still practice squad eligible. So maybe he finds his way on the roster that way. But there is a lot of competition at receiver in that room. Where there's going to be some tough decisions made, having to cut some guys who can definitely ball out. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for our first Bills camp update. We'll have plenty more throughout the coming weeks. and we want to make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. We do talk a lot of other football stuff, NFL stuff. So once there's more coming out and during, the regular season, we'll discuss all the games and everything. So make sure you subscribe. And Jake, I'll leave you with the closing thoughts.
I want to know the top 6 on the depth chart for receiver.
Okay.
I think this is going to be interesting. I want to see where mostly the 3 to 6 range, what people have.
Yeah, drop it below.